Hello, how are you? Well, I'm gonna do something different today. I'm gonna set my audio to my headphones and check. I'm gonna play a snippet of a song. I don't know if I should edit this. I'm probably not gonna edit anything, but pretty much I want to kind of bring forth a song. I don't know what song. I should stop lying before I really hurt somebody. I usually keep silent, but my silence. I usually keep quiet, but my silences are sloppy. So this is my album, Passive Impressive. I'll slide it over so you can see it. Trying to live without a cutie pie by my side. Time to find my stride when my ride decides to die. Why write without the eyes? It's the only thing you know is true. Wanna tell your story, but they only want the overview. I'ma do only what I deem appropriate and only make tracks with my closest of associates. Metaphorically, a light bright is too limiting. Instead, I'd prefer to use silly string liberally. When the next holiday is all they seem to care about, I want to abuse electronics will they wear them out. Want to see my electronics die before I do? Watch me evolve to ride you and high five you. That was Cutie Pie. Now, what I did with Cutie Pie, this is from my 2018 2017 album, Passive Impressive. That was, can you believe, that was 7 years ago now. My, the time flies. I think I'm gonna play this one. Like, this one's standing out to me. I could go through every song on this list for real. Passive Impressive, people love this one. So how this beat, I made this beat one day. It's got like birds chirping in it. Cutie Pie. And what happened in this song was I was rapping. I tried to memorize the verse, but it turned out as I was recording the song, I forgot the words. And so I just freestyled it. And it became something totally else. I say, look, open up your eyes, see the sun. Ah ha ha ha. Open up your eyes, feel the pain. That was freestyle. I didn't write any of that. Touch the sky, open up your mind, just try. I think I don't see a problem with just playing it right now. I don't have anything more to say about it. I wrote this song um sitting in a car shop with not enough cash to afford this payment for a silly muffler. I should blast you. Times like these, wish I could afford a Model T that this sick society rewarded novelty. I started rapping about communes and co-ops, reciting the melody to post hoc. So what? Post hoc is a song by my friend Rap Ferrera, who went as Milo. Post hoc. And now I really want this moment to end. Here it is, your moment in Zen, gone with the wind, ha. That was Moment of Zen is that's like a Daily Show reference with Jon Stewart. He used to end his shows by doing a moment of Zen. Got a job at the movies so I could work in Plato's cave, pretend we're a high school, new to being wage slaves. I wish life was more like Kingdom Hearts cutscenes instead something about butt dreams. Wish life were more like Kingdom Hearts cutscenes instead all I have to look forward to are butt dreams. Like sex dreams. I don't remember the rest right though, actually. So, those full lyrics never came out for Cutie Pie. Cutie Pie was the name of the beat. Nothing about the lyrics has anything to do with Cutie Pie or love or nothing. And it became something totally different after I forgot the words and freestyled the rest of the track. So, I guess we can definitely listen to it now if you're out for it. This is Cutie Pie from my 2017 album, Passive Impressive. The link will be included in the description if anyone's interested in listening to my music. My artist name, obviously, is Dunzo Donalds. So let's listen to Cutie Pie then. Ready? Hey! The birds chirping. Doon, doo 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 doon. I'll wait for it. Just fuck it. Can I read? Can I see? Can I see the light? Can I be right?
I was an electrician riding on a horseback. When I woke, I felt like I finally had a horse track. Of course, rap has always been something to wow. But if I wanted to be pro, I would have done it by now. I sat there in a car shop with not enough cash to afford this payment for a silly muffler. I should blast you. Times like these, wish I didn't have a Model T that this sick society rewarded novelty. Started thinking about communes and co-ops, reciting a melody to post hoc. So what? And now I really want this moment and end. See it and zen and end. Better do it at 10. You could see me around the clock in an hour. Maybe I'ma hop up out the shower. I'm a power. It's on 10. That's the next level up. I just wanna freestyle and give it up to my Lord, my Creator, my Savior. I just wanna thank you for all the things that you fucking gave me. Yeah, I am grateful, I got to admit it. I appreciate everything I see and can hear, and I'm in with it. I'm with it, I'm gon' get it. You see me and I'm splendid. I'm trying to reveal colors that's infinitesimally distant and emerald-like. Emerald and ruby, so see me with shoes, so I'm on the news, so you sing the blues, so I sing the truth, you already know, Open up your eyes, see the sun.
Really nice, huh? So I opened up the lyrics on Cutie Pie, and the lyrics, interestingly enough, a little Easter egg, the lyrics are the old lyrics. I didn't edit the lyrics to match the song because I freestyled the track right here when I got to and now I really want this moment to end. Here it is, your moment in Zen, going with the wind hot. That's where I fucked up, and I just said, better see me at 10. You can see me around the clock in the hour. I'ma hop about the shower and my power is on 10. That's the next level up. In this part, I just want to freestyle and give it up to my Lord, my creator, my savior. I just want to thank you for all the things that you fucking gave me. I am grateful. I got to admit it. I can see everything I can see in here, and I am with it. And that's a real special moment because rarely in my music, in my freestyles, you'll hear me rapping about the Lord. You'll hear me talking about how grateful I am for this life experience and for getting the opportunity. I feel life is an opportunity to worship the Creator. I may not be alone in this, but it's funny that I won't write. A friend of mine told me, he's like, you should write about the King. You should write about Jesus Christ. And it's funny that only when I fucked up the lyrics that I got into my freestyle, and then you hear my true self talk about inspired freestyle about gratitude for the Lord, for God. So God helped me to glorify him with that freestyle. And then the other part, the beautiful singing. Open up your mind. And the beat is amazing, right? There's like it's like a pluck. So yeah, gotta wish life were more like Kingdom Hearts cutscenes. Instead, all I have to look forward to are butt dreams. Gonna try to round out some of the rest of these lyrics. It seems that I'm not yet full male. Glad I didn't get tricked into attending at Full Sail. And it's not tricked. I'm sure people who attend Full Sail have positive reviews. But Full Sail was like a multimedia fucking university. And I didn't like being advertised to, that's all. I don't like being advertised for Full Sail, but I kept seeing it everywhere, and I'm like, oh yeah, these people got tricked, paying a lot of money to I'm sure that it's worth the accreditation that they receive. I'm not trying to diss Full Sail University. There's no problem with that. But in this instance, I thought, what's this line about? I thought I could be able to actually teach myself all the multimedia tools I could learn. But obviously, with instruction, we learn better. And with instruction, we succeed more with, that's why I thought I could just watch YouTube videos and figure out how to do. I figured I didn't need Full Sail. Like, I could teach myself, but I'm not trying to diss Full Sail. I'll prevail even if I'm cruising half-mast. You don't have to ask. My artistic feats are half-assed. And it's not even true. When this song fell apart, I knew I couldn't even say that line. That's like kind of what happened. I knew I couldn't even say that line about my artistic feats being half-assed. I said that because I never really try hard for my artistry. it just kind of falls into my lap. I make a beat. The beat is fun to make. It's enjoyable process. I make the beat, then I'm like, why don't I write to this? I write some raps. I never edit the raps. My first draft rap is always the rap that goes in. And then I forget it, and then I freestyle it. So, it's another half-assed attempt. I've released an album or two or three, actually. My series called Maintaining Homie Kingdom, parts 1, 2, and 3, are freestyle albums, pretty much. There's freestyle elements in the albums, and many of my songs have this element of, what to say. I start recording, what to say, and I say something. My first freestyle track was called Nobody Miss Me, and it turned into a really excellent song, a really beautiful song. Even though I didn't pre-plan any of the lyrics. I just said, why don't I record whatever I feel? And so that's why I said my artistic feats are half-assed, because I'm not doing a lot of editing. It's pretty much the first take, whatever it is, goes in. There are some songs I spend more time on with editing, but that's why I said that. But, it didn't even make it in a song. I didn't want that. Oh, The War of Art. The War of Art is a book by Stephen Pressfield. I think it's about becoming a better creative. It says, my lyric was, read The War of Art just so I could waste more time. Thought that I was peaceful, but every day is wartime. And that is true. In the spiritual war is on right now. We're deep in the spiritual war, and yeah, dude, I recorded this some time after my first psychosis experience, and I was heavily medicated, and there was a lot I learned about the spiritual war that takes place in my own life. And it's about the choices we make to be sure that we're winning the war. Only with Jesus Christ, Yeshua HaMashiach, can we even win the war. He did it. We only win with His grace. With His grace, that's how we win. Here's the Cutie Pie line. Next line says this: trying to live without a cutie pie by my side. Time to find my stride when my ride decides to die. It's almost like I want to start walking or running when my car breaks down. Why write without the eyes? It's the only thing you know that's true. Want to tell your story, but we only want the overview. That's a really complex line. In school, they would tell me, if I'm writing a paper or a scholarly paper, I should not say, I think this about this. They said to try to remove those I's and just show write in a way without the first person perspective. But what I'm saying here is subjectivity is crucial. The only thing you know that's true. The only thing we know that's true are things we have personally experienced. Other stuff is mostly we can analyze, we can conceive, we can conject. But the subjective first person, it's Osho's whole thing. Osho has spoken at length about the subjective experience being really the only thing you know. And then this line, want to tell your story, but we only want the overview. So, in my work for the past, let's say, 4 years, doing YouTube videos and doing mostly the YouTube videos and my podcast as well, I'm kind of trying to, and my blog as well. I keep a blog. You want to tell your story. I got a lot of story. Everyone's got a huge story. Everyone's got a long story about, I'm going to say, your spiritual life. Many people are not yet awakened, but once people awaken, they really hope to want to share their story. But here it says, we only want the overview. That means people want the short notes. People want the short clips. There's a reason I make long form videos, almost an hour long. I'm trying to get in depth of my story as much as I can at the present moment. And be careful about just cutting people short and our attention span is short as well. So that's one of the reasons my content isn't so popular, because I ramble on. Next line goes like this. I will share only what I deem appropriate and only make tracks with my closest of associates. That's kind of self-explanatory. I at this time in my life, living in Milwaukee, I had a lot of personal friends who were all musicians. And it's like, dude, I could love to make tracks with you and collaborate with you guys. And in many cases, I was able to collaborate with many of my close friends and people I could resonate with. I'll go on. Metaphorically, a light bright is too limiting. Instead, I'd prefer to use silly string liberally. Light bright is on a grid. You just pluck them in. It's and silly string is totally random. You can make, just different childish activities. I'll go on. When's the next holiday is all they seem to care about. I always found it weird. People love holidays, and holidays are one of the programming mechanisms of the Matrix. The idea of a holiday being every month or special days of the year mean certain things. That is a serious Matrix action. Every day is the fucking same. That's what we should talk about. And anything you want to celebrate, you could celebrate on any day. This whole, Memorial Day or fucking Independence Day, that stuff, celebrating annual remembrances of certain past events or all that is stupid. So I'm just saying that now. I'm learning to love holidays like I'm a true American, but I find the practice totally vapid. Abuse electronics till I wear them out. Want to see my possessions die before I do. Watch me evolve to Raichu and high five you. That line there, with hip hop music, sometimes you have a beat pad or an electronic keyboard. I'm like, can I use this so much that it wears out? Can I that was my idea. It's like, I use these tools, but they never wear down. Right? It's like the electronics are built so well, they just seem to last so long. Raichu, an awesome Pokemon. Pikachu's evolution. It goes, it's electric. I'm eclectic. This dialectic is across the diametric. Persecute my perspective. 'Cause I'm soft. Persecute my perspective. I don't know what to say about that. Just all rhyme together. Eclectic, dialectic, diametric, perspective. Just stupid rhymes. And I do sometimes welcome being persecuted because it says here, 'cause I'm soft, I'm gentle with my expression of masculinity. And I do feel that as I explain and explore my life, that's part of it. Being seen as soft. Because masculinity sometimes can have some hard and rough edges. And I saw myself as more gentle. And that's Cutie Pie. A really beautiful one. So I hope you enjoyed that. And I'll share my link below if you care to listen to my music. All my albums are for sale for $2. There's a backflip promo if you, but you can't get 70% off of $2 because if I think the lowest price is $1, so it'll reduce 50%. So if you type in backflip as a promo code, you'll get half off, I think. The album art, I just took a picture of myself, made a few edits, cut some stuff over here and put it over here to make these lines, and then just wrote passive impressive in a cool font. This is something on probably on Photoshop. So this one's red. At the same day I released Speeding to a Red. That's this one. Did the same technique, but just did it a little different. Just wrote Dunzo. I like Dunzo Donald's better, but this time I was just Dunzo, and a lot of people supported this. There are some darker tracks on here, and that's one of the tracks I like to do next. The Spell. The Spell is one of the most it's a song. I've never made any songs like The Spell, and that's a very compelling one that I wrote specifically about the spell for transformation, which has to do with a book I read called The Golden Ass by Apuleius. I felt that passive impressive compared to Speeding to a Red. Speeding to a Red is really dark. A lot of dark tracks on here. One of or two of them lighten up, but it's a different types of tracks. And then I didn't realize. Oh, Tough Drums. Tough Drums is insane. That's a track I completely forgot about. Ooh, back when I was young. Back when I was young. Do you remember back when you were young? I remember back when I was young. Back when I was young. Back when I was young. Oh, they're about the same. So I didn't realize I missed half of the track. Grands, I wrote a cool rap to Grands, but this ended up just being an instrumental. Tried and Tested, this insane long track. It just goes on and on. Very complicated raps on that one. What a really a confounding one. And then at the end you have the hidden track was Brahmin Sees Brahmin, which I did perform live. That was the one I should stop lying for. I really hurt somebody. I laid on my back flat, guided meditating. My entire body started vibrating. Wonderful. That was a profound moment where I had this meditation experience that was quite unexplainable. And there are many meditation moments I have in my life where the energy I've summoned is completely unexplainable. I can't. And I just see Brahman Sees Brahman. What is that title? I see we are God seeing each other. We are God seeing God in each other. That's what Brahman Sees Brahman is about. Let me do a quick search, because I think this is a popular phrase. It's like God sees God in others. Brahman sees Brahman. ultimate understanding that individual self is not separate from the universal self. This is a realization. This realization is the goal of spiritual practices and enlightenment. And I've had so many enlightenment experiences that now I just live life, you know. I'm not chasing enlightenment. You know, I'm at the end, you know. Chop wood and carry water, you understand? So that's passive impressive. That's Cutie Pie. I'll share my link below if you want to hear more of my tracks. But I just want to do a quick track roundup for Cutie Pie. That one stuck out to me. There's a few more I want to take a look at. And I hope to do some more of these. But this 2017 was such a profound. These I would say these albums culminate so much of my body of work are these two right here. Because that was when I was becoming a man, pretty much. The first album, I was literally 18 years old. The second album, I was about 20 or 21. There's a few years between 2012 and 2015, so 3 years later. There's a huge gap between One of a Kind and Hard to Hate. When I met NetArb, like, such a profound change over time, and in that time I did a few tracks with NetArb and related collaborators, but basically I was on my own back, had a psychotic break between these two albums, and my life forever changed. And then moving forward, so if I was 21, then let's say I was 24, 25. These albums, I must have been 26. What were the year? 2017? Let me do a quick math. No, I'm doing the wrong. 2017 minus 1992. Yeah, I was 25 years old. So that's when your brain fully develops. So these ones, Passive Impressive and Speeding to a Red, are some of the strongest examples of my artistry. I was living in Milwaukee with two friends and out of school, totally done with school, in the sense that I failed out of school and I ran out of money. So I'm basically back a slave to the grind, and these two are where it really came into form. So the whole body of my work is like the first 5 albums. Those are really powerful, but it goes on. I wanted to take a look at the Great Dunzo EP. Maybe I could even do a roundup of each one of those tracks where I collaborated with a friend in Scotland. And then looking Easy to Love, another NetArb produced jam, but very experimental, and not even having the tools. When I said in the line in Cutie Pie, my artistic feats are half-assed. There are tracks I hear that I just recorded with not even a good mic, with a really shitty mic. And the beats here, these freestyle albums, really trying something different. Couple more beat tapes. Then, my later work. What is this? If I was 25, when did I come out with Hype to Relax? That feels like yesterday, because this is one album that's very strong. This is one of my favorite albums that I've ever done, but that was 2021, so let me do the math again. I'm doing the wrong numbers. 2021 minus 1992. So I was 29. So that was 4 years in between Hype to Relax and the Passive Impressive. That was 4 years later, more albums. And now I've really tapered off. I'm not trying to really, I don't even need another album, I'm pretty much done. I feel like I've moved on to doing vlogs. So most of my hip hop music is finished now. I still make a beat or two, but on the real, this is these last 4 albums are excellent. It's very, I don't know what I'm trying to say, the right phrasing. It's a sampling. These 4 albums that I just released, it's a sampling of my music. And it's a strong showing. Vivid, Expressive, and Lucky with the Lights are more mixtapes. Raw Moments is a mixtape for sure. I wrote mixtape, but that one's more complete as an album because I at least did all the beats. I could easily look at any one of these songs, and I have. Obviously, I've done a video where I review my I think it was my 20 or 30 worst tracks. Probably 20 worst tracks. And a couple of these are on there for real. In the Mix is brilliant. And I'm just trying to review tracks, so I could easily go through any one of these tracks. So I'll share my link below. And hope you enjoy my tunes because this was a huge part of my life. Now I'm all about YouTube and streaming. I'm all about just, I'm less about hip hop. Like, hip hop's had this huge place in my life. And that's even one of the lyrics in Cutie Pie that I'll reflect on. I'll look back at the lyric where it was pretty much, if I wanted to be pro, I would have done it by now. Yeah, I'll start off with the beginning. I didn't reflect on this. It went, I was an electrician riding on horseback. When I woke, I felt like I finally had a course track. That was a profound dream I had. I've had many profound dreams in my life, but this one really struck me as feeling like, wow, I was like an electrician riding from house to house fixing stuff, but there was no cars, there was only horses. So I was on horseback. It was like a little of an older twist to a modern world. And that's how I envisioned the ecological future with less pollution, you understand. And I love riding horseback, I really do. I have a strong bond with horses, for real. Felt like I finally had a course track. Of course, rap has always been something to wow, but if I wanted to be pro, I would have done it by now. This takes me back to something I can't forget this moment, but I deeply remember, is I used to work at a garden store, and so one of my tasks would have been to water every plant out on the lot. These plants need water, and I would really take my time with it and water each plant, give it its nutrients, its hydration. And while I was watering plants, I remember I would always run through my head these lyrics for a hip hop track. And I'll rap it for you if you feel like it. But I had this quick little thing. I was like, I remember writing it. I think like I wrote it while I was working at the plant store. Is basically I wanted something to say because if I introduce myself to people, I'm a rapper. I tell people I'm a rapper. They want to hear something. And so I always dealt with that stress. And that's a huge defining thought form of my life in high school, when I was about, 17, 18 years old. just at leaving high school, but everyone in high school, I would introduce myself. If someone wanted to know, I was a rapper and I produced music. I consider myself more of a studio musician than a performing musician, but I felt if I introduce myself this way, people want to hear me perform. So it says, rap has been something to wow. So it's just that, something to wow. I wanted people to be impressed with my talent as a rapper. I got the rhythm with me, and I know how to fucking rap. And I'm clever enough, I can write bars. Something to wow. And I will circle back to that in a minute. But first, it says, but if I wanted to be pro, I would have done it by now. I always had this thing about, is hip hop just a hobby to me? How come I can't figure out how to monetize my talent? And how come I can't figure out how to market my hip hop music? And that's always been a huge struggle for me, figuring out how to share my music with a large audience and so people can hear me. And still, I haven't. It says if I wanted to be pro, I would have done it. If I wanted to be a professional hip hop musician, like some of my friends have done, and have done huge shows and done many tours and figured out how to turn their hip hop hobby into a business, that wasn't really something I could figure out, but it says here, I would have done it if I wanted it. And that's a profound lesson of manifestation, because turns out I didn't want that life. I didn't want the life of a touring musician. There's something about, and I felt business would have interfered with my free expression. And that was the last thing I wanted in life, was for the business aspect of my music to corrupt my free expression. So that's one of the reasons, that's a manifesting reason why I chose not to really, it's not been about the money. I can explain, in my hip hop career on this website, Bandcamp, I might have made $1,000 from record sales. In 12 years, you understand? Selling albums, digital albums, $10. Selling CDs, I would burn discs and burn some discs. But overall, if I looked at my total sales, it would be around $1,000. So people buy. Obviously, nowadays I have much less traffic. But when I first was coming out, my first 2 albums had a lot of attention. I don't know why. A lot of people were seeing it, and it really charted on the underground for real. in my area of Wisconsin, Milwaukee, my music really had some traction, and people felt that I was up and coming, and in some ways that led to a lot of pressure, right? And I did kind of crack under that pressure, and that's what caused my psychotic break. There was a metaphysical aspect to why I couldn't handle all the pressure of fame. But those early years, I did have a lot of sales, for real. And, but yeah, if I wanted to have been professional rapper, touring musician, I definitely would have done it. Now back to this line, rap has been something to wow. And so it's just this moment at the plant store, like, I should come up with a rap. I remember working, just watering plants, sweeping the drive, sweeping the ground, literally the ground where people would walk through. And I'm like, I should come up with a rap, huh? And so I came up with this rap. I'll spit it right now. If someone would see me, they say, hey, Nick, I heard you're a rapper now. And I'd be like, yeah, I'm a rapper. Spit some for me. And I'd say this. Here we go. Another person asking me to spit a rap. This ain't the time nor the place for that, but what the heck? I display the flows that amaze the pros and blaze patrols, but no, don't tase me, bro. I'm just a law-abiding citizen, so listen as I get it in. Go crazy like Ritalin, flow tasty like cinnamon. I'm different, unlike anybody that should know about. They should call me Tom Tom, the way I know my route. I'm getting up, I'm getting out like Willy Wonka. People often go bonkers and wish the rhyme was longer. But that's all you get from me, and that's all you get for free, so I'm out like leaves on a tree. Peace. Classic. It was such a wacky rap, bro, but I love to spit it. I love to spit it. Here you go, another person asking me to spit a rap. That's how it starts. I had to start it out that way, but... And it's funny, because I never used it. That's the thing. I wrote this little diatribe to give a sampling of my hip hop, but no one ever asked me, and I never used it. I was like, yo, if someone comes up and asks me to spit some bars, I want something ready. I'm not the type to freestyle whatever the fuck off the top of the brain like some Harry Mack. Nah. I'm like, here it go, another person asking me to spit a rap. So that's a fun note to end on. So just hip hop is such a huge part of my life, for real. And obviously I love to talk about it. That's why I go on so long. But yeah, I just wanted to do some track reviews and play some of these tracks. And there's so much more to come. Obviously, Hype to Relax. That's an incredible one. Raw Moment. I'd easily go through any of these tracks. Sober Jones is an incredible track. I rated my worst tracks, but if I ever rated my best tracks, you'd understand. I love all these songs, man. Raw Moment is cool because it was produced by my brother. Your music has blessed us all, says JB. JB is such a grateful and generous person. JB. Lucky with the Lights. There's a track on Lucky with the Lights. This one, Lens Adolescence. A rap about my past, A rap about my collaborator, Rap Ferreira, and, Ollie P. Rose. Lens Adolescence is a track that really gets me in the feels. I never cried to Lens Adolescence, but that's a song that makes me reflect on where I've come from. Mark Sisson, a hilarious track. Wrote the book on healthy living. Such a funny track. Oh my gosh. Tin Man. This is the one I was singing today at work. I was like, I took last in the poetry competition. My composition must have been missing heart like I was Tin Man. Something's different. I was relentless with the sentence, fighting stiffness. I need oil. Tin Man. He loved Tin Man. It's nuts. It's whatever. Valentine's Day. That's 2021. That's just a couple of years ago, man. Lucky with the Lights. Yeah, dude. Lucky with the Lights. But yeah, I gladly talk about any of these tracks, but I had a long hip-hop career. Maybe I should even write in here. I don't know if I should write my birthday or the day I first started rapping. But what's coming up, my original album, Demolition. Demolition came out July 21st of 2010. So this year, around July, I got this classic album, man. Successful Remix. Nobody Missed Me. That was the freestyle track, the first freestyle track I ever thought of. And that's Wow, in the past 6 years. A mixtape featuring all the songs I created in the past 6 years. So if we look at that, that's looking at 2010, going back 6 years from there, man. That's going back to 2004. How old was I in 2004? I was 12 years old. So I started writing raps at 12 years old. Were any of these songs 6 years ago? I can't even explain it. I was 12 years old, started writing raps, came out with all these tracks. Then it says a mixtape with all the songs from the past 6 years. That's nuts. Finally came out with it when I turned probably 18, just before my 18th birthday. So that was July 21st. So this year, around that time, it'll be a 15-year anniversary of Demolition. This album also has 15 years because that was that year when I graduated high school. This was my senior year of high school. I came out with all these songs. It's really profound. I could go through any of these songs, Nam to rap, and explain them. Explain my verses. Ask, what is considered luxury? What do you really need? What would you give up just to survive? Is it everything just to succeed? Would you get bored if you never died? Are you really living? Are you alive? Are you enjoying this ever stressful endeavor? What's worth more, honesty or pride? I'll ask these questions because we don't live forever. I'm running in circles, round and round. Running in circles. I'm running circles around you. I'm walking along the tracks for another day. This is my life as a runaway. At last I reach an overpass. I'm relatively unseen like Ozzy Osbourne's sober past. I implore you to explore my candor. Yes, I conquest like a Spaniard. Slander is thrown like monkeys throwing feces, but I'm my own species. I'll sit back and solve another Rubik's Cube, throwing Sudoku puzzles at him. Man, I can't fool this dude. I'm living life like a chess game. The world is filled with snipers. You gotta take the best aim, I'm just saying. Oh, I forgot that I was supposed to entertain you. What you mean you can't see it? To me, it's in plain view. But who knew that the clouds contained thunder? It's me against the world and I'm vastly outnumbered. That got clipped pretty good. I don't know how come I click on it. Like, is it square? It's squared perfectly. It cuts off right here or right here. This is history, man. This is hip hop history. So I'm gonna close the video out now. And yeah, this was my good buddy Roy Ferreira, who's in the middle. He's known as Rap Ferreira, with an acronym R.A.P. which are his initials actually. And this is my big bro, AD the Architect. And yeah, we did 18 songs for this one. These are all beats from the Samurai Champloo soundtrack. Various producers, but Nujabes produced quite a lot of these, and so I shouldn't do it because this is all about Cutie Pie, but I gotta find out what the verse was on You Probably Should Have Paid for This, because I don't know if I even have a verse on this one. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna play because I was trying to figure out if I had a verse on this one.
Aw, man, you don't know how lucky you are. You're getting this for free. And a gold digger, so I shift position. Bitch ass, wake up well. Donations, or maybe sell like t-shirts along with the CD.
Yeah, I know him. He's a real fly kid. Aspirations of a pilot every time he closes his eyelid. I'll be there when the party turns to a riot. The moral of the story? You break it, you buy it. I'm tired. I take a nap on your bitch ass. Wake up well-rounded, just well-rested, just in time to kick ass. Out of left field, better think fast. Nom to rap records, MP3s to give you whiplash. Huh. See you, space cowboy. Hear it in a rhyme, get all excited like down, boy. But you ain't no damn husky. Spit it as I fend off another damn hussy. Some will say I'm lucky. Must be, 'cause I flow from here to Sandusky. I'm taking over the whole industry. It'll be lovely. You could trust me. I know it's kind of loud, man. It's past their bedtime, now they're getting fussy. Local MCs asking raw biz for upsies. But I say get it on your own. Is it wrong to say that I feel at home whenever I'm on the microphone? Scribing new shit to strike upon your dome? It'll be the greatest poem ever known. It'll be about being in a crowd and still feeling alone. Ooh. Being in a crowd and still feeling alone. It'll be about being in a crowd and still feeling alone. I can't remember the last line, man.
Alone, and I win a prize for my.
And I'll win a prize for my efforts. Opponents want to test me, pow, right in the kisser. And then my bro comes in, right in the kisser. Surprised I kissed your sister. But shit ain't popping off. No blister. That's crazy. I commend my bro. He had great bravery getting involved in this because Rory and I were the same age. We're in the same class. My bro is a little older than us, but still wanted to kick it with us and rap with us. It's such a nut. So this is some great memories. Really great. Now to rap. Really wild. We only had the one album. Everyone's waiting for part 2, you understand? But it's just history. This is hip hop history and it's still up. So I'll share those links and you can definitely browse my music if you feel like it's something you're into. But I just wanted to share with you my passion for hip hop, and I hope that comes across because I got so much love for hip hop and for my creation process. I just, it's a slice of where we are, right? A moment in time, a snapshot, a picture, if you will. This picture right here. This was the Nom de Rap performance in somebody's basement. And so I wore that shirt and those pants. And so I'm performing at the hip hop show, or the only show where we performed this Nom de Rap music for real. And that's 2011 maybe. We performed at a college. So, it wasn't too long after we put out the album that we wanted to perform it live, so we did it. And like I was saying, the music, all these tracks, I've probably done, let's say, 200 to 300 songs released, and not even including the beats, for real. My features as well, so I've been able to collaborate, and it's like those beats and those raps, those tracks we made are just little snapshots and little pictures into a moment in time of like what I'm thinking and feeling at the time, and different topics, different ideas. And so I'm a huge thinker. I love to think on ideas and contemplate and riff and come up with new stuff. And so that all gets filtered into the music, and it all makes an impact on whoever is lucky enough to have heard of me and have ever heard my shit. So I'm just grateful for the opportunity to share my gift. And I got great love for the tradition of hip hop and just the music I love so much. And I took a risk when I decided I wanted to make tracks and start doing stuff. And so it all paid off. And I've had many memorable experiences performing hip hop for small audiences and large audiences. They're amazing memories. And I'm not done for real, but now I'm more about YouTube. So I'm working on a different angle to my poetic and passionate expression. So I think that's all I got to say. So I've been Nick Jeremiah. You can see also known as Dunzo Donalds. And I hope you have a wonderful night. I'll see you in the next one. I'll do another track review. Peace out. Bye.